Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Anime Anonymous. I am CJ,
And this is Ace.
and we are glad you're joining us for another AA meeting, feeding that good old addiction. This week we had a kind of a little bit of a different genre, but I loved it. It was a recent anime. My Dress Up Darling came out this past season. And just quick thoughts, was very enjoyable. We'll get into it a little bit more, and obviously at the end have our rating. But as always, we're always interested in what you guys think. So if you want to DM us on Insta or hit us up on Twitter, X Anime Anonymous X on Instagram, and then X Anime Anonymous on Twitter. I'm on both, actually. I'm getting better with the Twitter, but hit us up on either one of them and we'll be good. So we're gonna do, or not we, because I know absolutely nothing about it. Ace is gonna do a quick crypto corner kind of update, and then we're gonna jump into it.
Cool. So as of today, the market is looking very nice. At this point, everyone should be accumulating their favorite coins right now. If you're into Ethereum and Luna specifically, as well as Bitcoin, you should be in profit if you bought the dip. But also take into consideration that Luna has hit a fib level, so it would be wise to take a little bit of profit. But that's just my financial opinion, not any financial advice. But the market's looking good, so keep accumulating. And just pay attention to the chart so that when you see that blow off candle, take profit. Or you're going to have a long bear market waiting for it to come back. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys, and let's get into it.
All right, so quick thoughts. What do you think?
So quick thoughts. This was hilarious, bro. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely heavy fan service, but it actually gave me a different outlook on the fan service, because usually, it's just fan service and it's kind of like just teasing in a sense, of lack of a better word.
It's for the guy to enjoy purely. Honestly, right. That's what fan service is for those good old weebs.
Right, exactly. But this time, it actually made me feel like it should be talked about, or I'm just going to use fan service just for PG purposes, but the fan service made me feel like it should be talked about more or displayed in this manner more frequently, because at first I was like, he set me up again. CJ set me up. But then as I continue to watch it, I'm like, all right, she's very confident. And then once you start understanding the main character's role in the show, it's like, all right, this makes sense. Okay, I get it. And then after that, you just start paying attention to the dialogue. You stop focusing on the fan service, and you're just laughing the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's my quick thoughts. How about you?
Same. I actually kind of had slept on this one, because the only things that I saw of it online was just people showing like the little fan service parts. I'm like, I don't really like, I've watched ecchi and I've watched fan servicey animes, but I was like, I really don't feel like that right now.
Right.
So I didn't watch it, and then I was sitting there one day, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna watch this. And I was pleasantly surprised. Like, first episode, boom, got me immediately. And I was just like, okay, I'll give this a second one. And it just kept going from there. I was like, yo, this is a really good anime. Like, I like this. The two main characters, Gojo, he is the main guy character. Right. He's raised by his grandfather, and when he was a kid, absolutely loved the little figurines, Hina dolls that his grandfather made, and kind of felt a connection to them. And got you saw like a little flashback of like this girl saying he was weird about it.
Yeah,
but
that one that touched the heartstrings on that one.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So I mean, so because of that, he's always had a complex. So like that was the one thing that I was like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna really like this anime, because I'm just so tired of like the woe is me. I shouldn't be here main
Right.
characters. And that's how he starts. I'm like, oh,
Which
God.
made me have to wait until the second episode to kind of like, okay,
Well,
I'm enjoying
the reason
it now.
one got me is because of our second character,
Oh, okay.
Marin.
Gotcha.
Marin, if I remember, Kitigawa. She's the main female character. She is hilarious. And she, in my opinion, is like a perfect girl character in an anime.
I can see that.
Because like last episode we were talking about Get You a Stella, right? Well, even though I love Stella, like there are some things that I nitpick with her, like, oh yeah, her being a little bit too shy and all that stuff, or just being, your stereotypical, like getting mad like when he talks to someone else, right? Like,
right. The typical jealous.
But yeah, Marin is like confident.
Yeah.
Like she's funny and she's
fearless.
She's fearless, but then she's also like, she doesn't quote unquote big up herself, right? Like she knows what her faults are,
right?
And she thinks it's hilarious. She's like, I can't even do my own makeup. Yeah, he does it. Isn't that crazy? And they're like, you should not be happy about that. What? And she's like, yeah.
But it kind of makes, when I watched it, it made me feel like I don't have to be perfect. Like I don't have to know everything. And I was like, this is refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I definitely enjoyed that.
And she kind of reminded me of a friend that I had in high school. I mean, a little bit more over the top, but I had a friend who was like your stereotypical, like popular girl. Mm-hmm. Everybody liked her. And you'd think she'd be stuck up. Like that was just my thought process when I first met her. And like I was technically in the popular side, but I didn't care about it because, playing sports, doing all that stuff, you get into that. But I was never into the cliques and stuff. And then she and I kind of hung out, and I was like, oh, this chick's kind of cool. Like, she's not stuck up. So that's why I guess I really like Marin, because like I kind of have that real world tie. I'm like, yeah, I do know someone like this. But she is just the greatest part of this anime for me. But I will say, though, other reason why I like it is because of the growth with Gojo. He doesn't stay, woe is me. You're slowly seeing him kind of change. And I guess, you know what? I've taken my short version and just gone right into it because I just really want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Actually feeling different about how his growth was. Like, I was hoping, because this is a 12 episode on anime.
Yep.
I was hoping he would kind of take some of the confidence that she was displaying and kind of start incorporating that more. Unless I'm just being impatient, because there is a season 2, and maybe it just wasn't as forceful as I would like him to start improving.
I think it's...
I'm used to the shonen growth.
Yeah. And I think the reason I like this is because it's very realistic. Okay. Like if you have somebody who they're freshmen, so they're what? The stereotypical 15 for Japanese. Right. If you've been down on yourself for 15 years, like you're not just gonna off rip like I'm a new man. Like yeah, I'm good. Like yeah, there's gonna be some stuff there, but I think slowly but surely you kind of see it, and it's also a realistic part is like when they start hanging out, because the main reason they meet each other is his sewing machine was broken,
right?
So he went to the school to use the sewing one. He sees her there, off rip. He's like, "Oh, she's gonna make fun of me," blah blah blah, and she just comes out with it. You can sew? That's awesome.
So during that situation, when she surprises him in that school sewing class, and he flies his Hina doll out his hand,
I forgot about that.
Baseball slides and catches it, and are you okay? I'm like, bruh, ain't no way.
Yeah, well, and you think about it, there are people like that, right? That like have no friends, and so they just use figurines and stuff as their friends, which like is sad, but like I get it.
Yeah, I mean I understand it, but
I mean, go to a con.
I don't think I'm that committed.
Like, and there's a lot of people like that. Well, because I'm not even gonna get into that. I was gonna get really like real world. We're gonna stick on this. But like he's like, oh yeah, she's gonna judge me, and then she's like, that's so cool. Like you make this, blah blah blah. And he's like, wait, she's not what I thought she was.
Yeah.
And
I like that about her, and it made her not a hypocrite. It made her like stand by her words that she was saying in the classroom for homeroom, with their friends. So
and she would be, and just immediately she was like, "Why are you letting them kind of like take advantage of you?" Like late, I don't think that's in episode 1.
That was episode 2.
That's 2, right? Okay, where she's like, you should stand up, like don't let them take advantage of you. And then also you have another one like. Another scene with her that I like is when she's at the hair salon or something with her friend, and like this guy starts hitting on her, and he does like a neg where you try to like mess with the person to get a reaction to make them like you,
and he did the absolute wrong.
Yeah, he negs like her
she had something
little
on her
figurine
bag,
or whatever, and she shuts him down.
Right, and it was smooth too. I was like,
and her friend's like, "Why would you do that?" Like, or all the girls when they were telling about the story, they're like, "Why would you do that?" Like, he was hot, blah blah blah. And she's like, "I don't care."
Right.
Like, I was like, "Okay,
yeah, I like this girl."
Her. but like they're so episode 2 is where you get some of the fan servicey like scenes that I was seeing that was making me not join this. Well, she is basically the dress-up doll for this series. It's my dress-up darling, but she's kind of like his giant Hina doll, basically. And they kind of get into a relationship of him helping her with her cosplay because she's absolutely useless when it comes to it. And it's so funny because when he's reading the book, he's like, oh, wow, they lay out everything. And she's
to the T, with all the details.
She's like, wait a minute. Only an idiot couldn't do this. She's like, oh God, I'm an idiot. And like, she's just so funny. And she's like, but again, she recognizes her faults because all the way through, she's like, I feel bad. I can't really help you with this. I know I can't.
Right.
But I do have money.
so I can finance it.
So she's like, let me finance the stuff, or let's go here and do it. But she's also not like stupid with her money. She only buys what she can afford and still have money left over.
Right.
And that's another thing that I like about her.
Yeah, I did like that.
She's really responsible. Yeah. Like, she's a responsible character. She's funny. She's
ambitious.
Ambitious. And she just cracks me up all the time.
She's a comedian for sure.
And she says some things that just throw Gojo off. And
it throws the viewer off too.
He's like, what?
And it's so subtle. So I listened to the first 10 episodes in English. And when you hear the difference in the dialect, or I'm going to say slang, it comes in such weird moments that you're like, what she just say?
Yeah, you got to rewind it.
You got to rewind it. And you be like, hold on. She did not just say that. Like, I think the funniest... I can't even say the funniest one. There were so many that were so good.
So many good ones.
But what was the one where they're in the room and she's talking about it's like closer to the end of the.
Oh, you're talking about when she tells him she's a model.
Right.
Yeah. She's like,
Mama gotta get that check. I'm like,
I did the same thing.
I'm like, this girl.
Hold on.
What's that called? Cultural appropriation. I'm like. Yeah, that's definitely cultural appropriation right there. But it was funny though.
I rewinded it. I was like, hold on. She did not just say that. And she's posing when she does it. Right. She's like, Mama gotta get that check. And I'm like, you look at her, and if you had to describe her, and it's gonna sound so weird, she's like a valley girl mixed with like a black chick.
Right, in that moment. And she had like, her lingo is funny. Like, I really just enjoy, like, the random kind of nuances that she puts onto the spin.
Yeah. She's an interesting character. Like, she doesn't mean...
She made the show for me.
Yeah. Oh, 100. Yeah, 100%.
She made the show.
Like, you can't put her in a box, right? Like she's not your generic girl in a romance like anime.
Right.
And that's why I like it. She's not a tsundere, like, oh, so shy or whatever, or she's not the other one where they're like, always hitting you and stuff. Right. I'm just like, which can get kind of annoying because
that's definitely annoying.
One of my favorite romance ones is Toradora, and that's kind of the style of her, and I love her to death. But I'm just like, God, this is annoying sometimes. But like, she's just funny, and when she gets into her character, she's perfect. And then she'll break character. She's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm cosplaying this person. And it's just the funniest thing. Because,
but it's so genuine. Like, you feel like that's like a real person, which they hit her voice actor.
Great.
Perfect. To the T. And I never really spoke about that. But in this one, it's very evident that they took their time creating each character. Because even the little sister, well, the siblings, and then the older sister and the bigger little sister, their interactions,
That's another funny scene. Yeah. So, like, the older sister, so she, the sisters that we're talking about, they're, Sajuna is the youngest, the oldest, and then Shinju is the youngest, but she's tall. She actually sometimes gets mistaken as an adult because she's tall and curvy. So, like...
she's very mature for a middle school.
Yeah, she's in middle school.
It's crazy.
And her sister is the cosplayer undernamed Juju, and they thought that this cosplayer was in middle school or maybe even primary school because of how tiny she is. So when they meet the younger sister...
they're like,
this is where Marin is hilarious. So Gojo's like, yo, like, Gojo looks at her chest, he's like, whoa, like, those things are huge, but he's saying it in his head. Marin just comes out, girl, you are huge. And Gojo's like, you can't say that. And he totally misunderstood her because she's like, yeah, how tall are you? And he goes, oh.
He's like, that's what she meant. That's what she meant. Cool.
It's just the funniest thing because she's just so... she has no filter. She has no filter.
She speaks her mind.
And I could vibe with that all day.
She's a very enjoyable character. Like, guys, if y'all haven't picked up by now in this 17 minutes and 32 seconds.
You are so stupid with the timestamps.
Y'all need to check this one out. There's also a season 2 on the way. More details on that when we get them as well.
Yeah,
but
sure.
This one is one to watch. I was definitely very pleased and enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think their growth just in general is just really good. Even as a couple, quote unquote, they're not really a couple, but like Marin, who you hear in the first 2 episodes turns down so many guys because she just doesn't care about that stuff,
right?
Because it sounds like a lot of the times it's just like stereotypical or stuck-up guys that are hot that want to be with her because she's hot. But like, she really enjoys his company. And then in season 2, because we keep talking about it, in episode 2 when he's like doing the measurements for her
hilarious
thing, and like he gets too close one time and she just blushes and she's like, wait, what? Like, it was even confusing for her.
She doesn't get nervous. She doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't get nervous.
Like she's not used to that.
Yeah, that's the funny. Like, talking about her confidence. He was like, yeah, let's meet up on a certain day to start your measurements for your costume. She shows up to his house like, yeah, I can't wait. And then I'm ready. And then he's like, well, for that, like, you have to be in the right stuff, and maybe you want a girl to do that. She's like, see, I'm already ready. And she takes off her shirt, and he's like, whoa! And she's like, ta-da! I got a bikini. On. Which shows her confidence, and to him, he's like, yo, like,
you're still in a bikini in my room.
In the words of a good friend, them things were thangin'. And he's just getting so blushed, and she doesn't even notice it. Like, she doesn't, because she's confident. Like, she's like, it's just a bikini.
She doesn't bat an eye, and she has plenty of moments that put him in the same situation. And he's like, what have I got myself into?
Yep. But
he even tried to quit one of the cosplay options because
it showed too much.
Yeah, he was like, "Look, you gonna have to do this on your own. I can't do it." And I was
She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Respect you, sir.
Yep. And then her, being her again, teases him. She like whispers in his ear or something, or calls him or something.
No,
She's
no,
like,
whispering in
was
his ear.
it okay? I thought so. She goes, "You want me to send you some private pictures?" He goes, "What?" She's like, "I'm just kidding."
But he thought about it though.
Yeah, he did.
He thought, well, that may not be too bad. I really enjoyed this. It was funny. If y'all can like focus past the fan service, really just
because the
understand
fan service
characters.
is there for a reason. It's not just to be fan service, right? It is fan service, but it's part of her character.
Yeah, and they use it very well.
Yeah, it's for lack of a better word, like quote unquote tastefully used.
Right, exactly.
Because it's not supposed to just be like on that horny bus, right? Like this is a reason. She is that character. She's confident with her body. She's not doing it to elicit a reaction. She's a model, so she likes good-looking stuff, and it's going to accentuate how she looks.
Right.
But then, like, what's so cool about it is, like, sometimes when she's chilling, she'll be in, like, some baggy, like, jeans or something, and then, like, oversized guy shirts. Because she's like, I just like oversized stuff. Like,
right. But she still be making that fit fire,
yeah,
though.
she
like,
looks
she's
good.
Very drippy, very trendy. The fashion and everything is, I think, very current, very relevant.
Yeah, for sure. But
definitely check that out.
One thing that I thought that I did like about this though is I read the author of the light novels. I think it's a he, but I'm not sure, so I'll just say they. Okay. They got like the first 2 episodes early, and they cried because they were so happy at how well the anime took what they wrote and put it on screen. So that has to say that's such a good thing to say about the anime, like the author, because there's some times where like authors don't really vibe with the anime because they're like, oh, you cut out this or you cut out this, but like they loved it.
Oh,
and so I was like, that is really I was like, and that's really cool to hear because
it's not common. Like they literally is very common for them to just do their own adaptation, whatever they feel as though they want to use.
Yep.
But for them to do it to the T, almost to the T, based on the novel, y'all can't complain.
Yep. And usually, like you'll notice this episode is a little bit different because usually we go like episode by episode, but we're kind of just giving you an overview because we want you to watch this. Like this is one you definitely should watch. So we don't want to like quote unquote spoil these different things, but it's just a really good. Just the progress of the anime in general is really good. Between like his skills getting better, their relationship as friends, and also her falling more in love with him, and him accepting that he can have friends, Like, because that's the thing. Like, he at first thought she just wanted him as like a business partner, like that's purely it, and he felt bad that people were noticing that they were hanging out because he thinks he's a black cloud,
Right.
Marin's not having that. She doesn't care what people think. Like she's like, who cares?
Nah, you and me.
She's like, we're already friends.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like such a nice thing to see in him. And so he starts growing, and then just
and by helping her, and not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
By helping her, when he got that satisfaction and that kind of reassurance of his skills improving from his granddad, I was like,
bro,
yes. That was really important for him to get that word of encouragement.
Bro, let's not forget that his grandfather was stressed for a bit.
He was hilarious.
He was like, what is going on with this kid? Like, he comes home and Gojo is like watching like a porno game.
Right.
But like he has a notepad and stuff. He's like, what is he doing? Because one of the characters that she wants to cosplay is from like a video game that's an H game. So like he's just like, what is going on? And like you hear the sounds of the game in the background, and he's like, are you okay, Gojo? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And he's just like, okay.
Why are you taking notes?
Yeah. And then the next time when he's just like he's thinking like, Gojo's all right. And then Gojo walks in with like some stockings and stuff. He goes, what?
What is happening? What is happening? Am I failing? I'm like, just keep watching. Just keep watching. And then when he had the skirt, but then the girl, Marin popped out. He's like, I don't know whether to be shocked or feel happy or proud. Like his emotions were hilarious.
And then he was like, Gojo was like, we didn't do anything inappropriate. And then this is right where like Marin like is like, wait, I do really like this dude, because she was like, well, what if we did?
Yeah.
And then
I was like, yeah, Marin.
Whoever, because I watched this all in Japanese, so whoever did the subtitles,
okay,
I gotta dap him up, bro.
Because I gotta rewatch it in Japanese.
She goes, and you just see all these random letters pop up in the subtitles. She's like, I'm so in love with him. Oh my gosh.
So I remember that in English, and I'm just like, this anime is so smooth. Like, you don't even realize that you're just going to the next episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's so smooth. Everything is just so coherent. And I really enjoyed that. I think that was like something I'm going to start paying attention to more as we start reviewing anime in the future, because that is a plus.
Yeah, there were definitely quote unquote like set pieces, like, because it's almost like arcs, mini arcs changed every like new cosplay they made, but it all flowed well.
It was probably the best flow consecutive procedure I've ever seen, and that sounded crazy coming out. But I don't know how else to explain it, but it was smooth. I'll just keep
it definitely was.
And then like when he resolved, like another favorite part was when he resolved the relationship between the siblings,
the sisters,
the sisters, and I was like, bro,
yeah, that was good.
You got the juice. Had the other joint trying to holler at him. She was like,
yeah,
hey, he do got the juice.
Yeah, she was thinking
maybe
about
I like
him
too. And I was like, here go another one. Pimp that don't even know he pimping. I'm like, come on, bro. You can't recognize these signs yet. You've been with Shorty for like 6 months at this point of the show. He's been with her like 6 months.
They've been together for a minute.
And man, if y'all don't enjoy I'm gonna give y'all some sections to pay attention to. What's the kid name again?
Gojo?
Yeah, when Gojo brings the girl to grandpa house and she pop out, that's a funny one.
That's hilarious.
When they go to the hotel, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Oh man,
funny,
yes,
funny. Probably should not watch it in a public area.
Yeah.
But funny.
It's funny, but it's also good growth for them too, because he's realizing, and she's already realized, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that was a really good scene.
And then when they're shopping for his clothes,
that is hilarious.
And
oh my gosh!
So it's two parts that had me dying laughing. Like I ain't gonna put myself out there. I was about to literally get myself in trouble. But as I was watching it, he was literally getting curved by the attendant that works there. Yeah.
So we can talk about this one. So long story short, she wants to thank him for helping her out with the cosplays. So she was like, I want to buy you some clothes, because he's always in the same like outfit.
Yeah.
And they go to this place together, and the attendant's this model looking dude, and he's like, there's no way they're together. And he's just shading Gojo already.
Just taking shots after shot.
And so Gojo's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to get. So Marin's like, I'll just pick out some stuff for you. Go ahead and try it on. And then we get to where you're talking about.
And then she's like, every single thing he wears is perfect. I was she's wild.
But like, it's so funny because like at first you're like, wait, is she changing? Because like she's been like so supportive and stuff of him. So like when he comes out in something that looks ludicrous.
Now all it is, in my opinion, it was trash.
Yeah, but all of it was ludicrous.
Yeah, it was trash.
So like when he comes out, the attendant's like, I want to die looking at him. Like, I gotta leave. And as soon as he walks out and opens the curtain, Marin goes, and like her face is deadpan, and then he tries another one on. She's like, and you're like, wait, does she not like what's happening? And then they go in,
Right.
and she's just
she
like,
goes in and just explodes. I'm like,
she's like, I can't believe there's a guy who looks hot and everything. He's like, he can't exist, but he does exist. He's in
right
front
here.
of me. It's so funny.
please. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey,
All right.
I don't even gotta say please.
All right,
Check this one out.
we gotta shut this down because
Oh, man.
because we're gonna be talking about a lot. Like just these last two, I think. Again, they're short. They're 12 episodes, but so much happens in
Yes.
both. And they're just loved it. So usually I have you give your rating first, but I'm gonna give mine.
Cool.
So my rating is 9. We don't usually do halves, but I'm gonna do it for this one. This one is a 9.5. Only reason it's not a 10 is off rip how I felt about Gojo. Just being the woe is me. Like, I cannot stand that character.
Okay.
I understand the point of it, and I know there's a lot of people like that. But personally, I'm not like that, so I can't take it.
Right.
So this is strong, like the strongest 9.5 anyone has ever given. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 9.5.
Okay. I respect that. I'm gonna give it a 10, just because I cannot relate to the main character at all, and for the anime to display him in a way where I can understand and relate by the end of the show, I was just lost for words. I'm like, they literally written this storyline in such the perfect way. I have nothing but appreciation for the show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Every single part had me fully engaged.
Yep.
There was no, in my opinion, there was no
That
dry
is another
parts.
thing. Yeah.
And, like, every scene, like, even when they started going to like the haunted house for the photo shoot, like that whole mini arc, I was engaged, and I used to model, so kind of like I could relate to that part. So when they're doing the modeling and they're talking their talk, and the main character Marin, she's like fully engaged, and I'm like, this was common knowledge for me, but I had no idea that this is not common knowledge for everyone. I'm like, they did their research. Everything was accurate. Everything was super realistic. I haven't experienced a Kojo in my life, but for them to make me enjoy the character, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, like I definitely 100% recommend this. It's great, and my buddy on the other side, that's probably the only guy who's watched more anime than me. He and I were talking about I watched way too many. He and I were talking about this like last week sometime, so it was getting me hyped even more for it, because I was like, yo, what do you think about it? He was like, great, top tier. I was like, that's what I said. He was like, yeah. He was like, Marin's one of the best. Like 100.
Easy. And I did not know what you meant, because you did give me kind of like a synopsis of it last week. And I'm like, she's that great? So I'm like, high expectations. I'm like, at bar 100, like, all right, if she that thorough, we gonna see. Nah, she's that.
No, she's great.
Yeah, she's
great.
really like that. So definitely check this one out for sure.
For sure. I mean, this is one of our shorter episodes, but like, it's just because we want you to watch it.
Yeah.
So definitely watch this. And then for next week, I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but either way, I think you're going to enjoy it. We're going to be watching and reviewing Beyond the Boundary. It came out, well, Japanese name, because that's what I knew it as for a little bit, what is Kyokai no Kanata. It came out in 2013. Supernatural action fantasy, and it's action that kind of has some good mix of ideologies, and just, I don't know, it makes you kind of think, in my opinion. Like, it's not deep thinking.
Is it like a Death Note type thinking?
No. It's not that deep. But you kind of think of is, in the lack of better words, like the bad guy who doesn't want to be the bad guy, who's a good guy.
Oh, I think you told me about this.
It's a good anime, and I think like the last couple episodes are really, really good.
Okay.
But in general, I would even mix in a little bit of comedy in there just because of how the main characters are.
All right, bet.
But so look forward to that one. If you guys have any questions, your own ratings, your thoughts, please let us know. Again, Instagram, XAnimeAnonymous. Twitter is XAnimeAnonymous as well. Just hit us up. We'll be posting any anime news that we find out. We're hyped about the ones that are coming out. I think we got 2 days until Shield Hero Season 2. So I'm looking forward for that.
Yes, sir.
And we're probably going to start doing a little bit more of newer ones. Obviously not right now because we're going to review them. So once they're done. But yeah, we've got a good season coming up. So it'll be pretty cool.
And that being said, stay tuned.
Yep, basically.
We got more to come. And we are also on Audius.
I always forget Audius.
We're on Audius, Anime Anonymous. So when you listen, you get paid. When we listen, we get paid. And when you listen to us, we get paid. So
there's a lot of paying there. I think that's the root of this.
Yeah, everybody eats. So check us out on Audius as well. And then eventually we'll get the YouTube jumping as well.
Yeah, we're figuring that out. But yeah, we do have the YouTube channel going. We're going to start posting on there. And then we might actually start doing like some live kind of podcasts on there for you to interact with too. So we got a lot going on with this. So it's keeping it fun, which is the whole reason for this.
And in the comments, if you guys prefer the YouTube chat, the Twitter Space chat, the Discord chat, let us know what you guys prefer so that we can kind of have a consolidation and don't have to have all these apps open at the same time.
Yep.
So if you guys have a preference, definitely let us know. If not, we're going to just do what we do and communicate that to y'all so y'all can stay tuned and reach out to us.
Yep. But until then, I'm CJ.
And this is Ace.
And we'll catch you next AA meeting.
Peace.